The Nyack WISE program began 4 years ago with a task force of parents, community members, and faculty members who had heard about this program and were interested in bringing it to Nyack.
My name is Patricia Santos, and as my WISE project, I was an intern at the New York Philharmonic with Bill Blossom, who was one of the bassists. Being in Lincoln Center is something that's pretty familiar for me. I've been going there for concerts for years, but the most exciting thing was being backstage and learning about the labyrinth atmosphere backstage and realizing that I'm walking through areas that, you know, Leonard Bernstein walked in, and sitting on the same chairs as all these famous people. So that side of Lincoln Center was very exciting, sitting in the artist's lounge. I had so much fun at my internship that I just didn't want to come to school anymore. And the one day a week I spent in the city was just phenomenal. And I learned so much, and it was just so exciting for me to work with all those people that I've been watching for years and years, and they've been my idols.
When students are given an opportunity to choose a project, to make it a topic that interests them, to do hands-on work, to have an internship or an opportunity to interact with people in the community, this is very exciting for them, and their excitement is contagious.
The name of the book is The Very Hungry Caterpillar. On Saturday, he ate through one piece of chocolate cake, one ice cream cone, one pickle, one slice of Swiss cheese.
While I learned working with young kids, you have to have a lot of patience. It's not like working with your peers or adults. They need a lot of love too. And that profession is great. That's why I chose it. I'm glad I chose that.
He was a butterfly. Yeah. What they gonna turn into next? Butterflies.
Experience gave me the opportunity to know what my task is ahead, what steps I need to take to be successful in this field. So I already know how it is working in there. Now I just gotta achieve my goal, go to college, and study this field, and I'm on my way.
There's so many aspects to acting that I never knew. I still want to do the acting part of it, but to understand what's going on backstage and what's going on way behind the scenes might help me understand why it's so difficult to actually perform or put on a production. It takes a lot of work. I learned a lot of things about myself. I learned that I'm a patient person, that I am a positive thinker, as they had told me I was. And I learned that I do have some potential in this field. I might not be the best actor, singer, dancer that there ever was or ever will be, but I know that I am determined enough to do this, and that if I want it bad enough, I can get where I want to.
That's what you need, a job just to live, you know. You have to get paid. So it's very important to have a job, a very good job, and to be able to hold it. But the thing I learned about the building trade is that you have to be very knowledgeable about what you're doing, because the tools and everything that you're doing is very dangerous, and you could get hurt. So, you know, you have to learn, you have to know how to control the machines and how to use them, and where to put your hands and where not to put your hands, or you could get hurt. The thing that I learned about myself is that I have to be very responsible, because there was no one there telling me I had to go to that intern, or there was no one keeping an eye on me. So I had to do it myself. I had to go there by myself, make sure I kept my hours, and did everything I had to do just to make sure, you know, I had to be responsible. My favorite part of my internship is using the tools, using the power tools and everything. I just like cutting wood and stuff, nailing stuff in.
Hi, my name is Anna Scretching, and I'm a student at Nyack High School. During the second semester of my senior year, I participated in the WISE program. I learned a lot about the profession of teaching. I learned how to deal with kids, how to deal with people I work with, and how to deal with also parents. I had to work very closely with the children, and I got to know their parents through that. I learned a lot about myself through this internship. I learned that I have a lot of patience, especially with younger children, because I know with myself I don't have a lot of patience. And I see that even though the kids aren't able to understand what they're doing, I still have the patience to help them, which is good, especially going into the teaching profession. I definitely had fun with the whole WISE thing. I would definitely do it again.
They design their own project. They work with a faculty mentor whom they choose. They do a journal.
I loved writing in my journal. I felt an empty void in my life if I didn't write in my journal one day.
I became kind of notorious for the other students because I'm closing in on 90 pages.
I think the most fun I had at Helen Hayes was actually sitting in the booth, writing in my journal. It gave me time to reflect on what I was seeing, and at that time I was actually watching a performance because they were actually showing me what I wanted to see.
My sponsor was Bill Blossom, and I learned so much from him, not just about being a player, but about the entire music field.
Well, my sponsor was Mrs. Tickton, and she was my first grade teacher when I went to Liberty, and I wanted to work with her because I have worked with her a little bit before. She was great to work with. She helped me along the way. She helped me learn more about myself. She helped me get involved with the kids a little bit more than me just sitting on the side.
Miss Nancy and Miss Laurie, two lovely ladies. I owe everything to them, all my success.
Faculty members volunteer for this program, which is an important aspect of WISE, and they volunteer based on the student's request that they be their mentor.
I love my mentor. My mentor was Miss Vicky, Mrs. Bernadette Vicky. She helped me a lot. She helped me to understand time management.
My mentor helped me so much. She helped me with my journal, making sure that I kept on task with what I said I was going to do.
Well, my mentor is Annie Oakley. She's also my track coach.
I was actually quite honored when Yonel asked me to mentor him during this program. There's no one that works harder than Yonel at anything. I know academically, as he does here on the track, and I'm sure wherever he ends up next year, whatever college he ends up in, they'll be happy to get him.
At the end, they present to a panel consisting of members of the community, faculty members, and students. Very often parents and other visitors are invited as well, and they talk about what they've learned, and they're given some constructive feedback on their presentation and on their project.
The presentation went well. I talked about my Helen Hayes experience. I talked about the Music Man that I did here at the high school.
I was worried the first time. Were you claustrophobic?
How did you feel with the kids? Did you feel like a little nervous that they might not like you?
Once I got there, they all just accepted me instantly, and everything went well. They all involved me in everything they did.
I've been to the library, done a lot of research on the buildings and foundations and stuff, because when I'm doing my presentation, all I'm going to do is talk about the foundations, how a house is built, and the process in which you have to go through to build the house.
I'm just very impressed with him in a lot of areas. Like Dr. Green said, very independent. He knows. He's a lovely student, and to miss him. A kid like this you miss. And I'm sure he'll do fine wherever he ends up.
It's a wonderful program. In my 29 years in education, I've never been involved in a program that I found to be as exciting as this one.
My favorite part of my internship was we did a little dancing. We did the electric slide. We had birthday cake. It was one of the kids' birthday. We just all had a good time, reading, playing with the water table, sandbox. That was the best day.